Hi, I'm Rebecca J. Carlson, and this is my book, Barley and Rye, The Adventure of Lost Castle. And I'd like to read a chapter of this book to you, but first let me tell you a little bit about the story so you'll know what's going on. So Barley and Rye are brothers, and they live in a village at the edge of a forest. And in this forest there's a band of brigands. Now, brigand is an old word for a robber. These robbers steal things from the village, and sometimes they steal children and take them away to Lost Castle. The children are forced there to work as their slaves. Now, when Rye gets stolen, his brother Barley goes out to look for him. But while Rye is at the castle, he and the other children who have been taken want to escape. And Rye finds some old rotten potatoes in the castle kitchens, and he comes up with a plan to escape using the rotten potatoes. So let's see how well this plan works out. The next morning, the brigands of Lost Castle woke up to find their usual neatly folded pile of clothes and a clean-looking pair of boots beside their beds. The unsatisfying smell of porridge with not quite enough salt in it filled the air, making them hungry and grumpy. In no hurry, they fumbled into their clothes, growling and scratching. When the castle bell rang to let them know breakfast was ready, they each put one foot in one boot and shrieked in surprise. Feet came out of boots faster than anyone would have guessed those lazy brigands could move. Toes dripped with yellow slime and wriggling maggots. A terrible smell filled the room. One brigand threw his boot at the wall, but hit another brigand in the face instead. Rotten potato slime sprayed everywhere. The brigand who had been hit yelped and threw a boot back at the first one, but missed. The boot landed on a third brigand's head, where it dripped potato slime into his hair and ears. Soon all the brigands were yelling and fighting each other. Even the two brigands who had been on night watch ran in to see what was going on. No one noticed the 5 children creeping across the courtyard to the castle gate. Tom Cobbler pulled on the gate lever, while the other 4 each grabbed one of the spokes that stuck out from the wheel that would raise the iron bars. A fat chain wrapped around the wheel and ran up to a hole in the wall. The lever went clunk, and the chain rattled. It pulled tight when all the children tried to turn the wheel, but it didn't move. Rye ran around the other side of the wheel and pushed up on a spoke. When Tom joined him, the wheel gradually began to move, and so did the gate. It raised up 1 inch, and then another. "The slaves are escaping!" boomed a terrible voice from across the courtyard. There in the arch of a doorway stood the Lord of Lost Castle. Instead of ragged leather trousers and a tattered shirt like his brigands, he wore a suit of fine velvet. The jeweled crown on his head was too small for him, and so sat a little bit crooked in his oily black curls. A deep frown pulled the dangling corners of his mustache down even farther. He glared at the children. The polished boot in his hands dripped rotten potato slime onto the ground. "Heave!" shouted the children all together. The gate raised up another inch. "Stop them!" the Lord of Lost Castle bellowed. "Get out here and stop them!" Reluctant in their bare, slimy feet, the brigands of Lost Castle hobbled out into the courtyard. When they saw the children trying to turn the gate wheel, they hobbled faster. "Janet, you're the smallest," Rice said with a glance at the gate. "Can you squeeze underneath?" Janet let go the wheel and ran for the gate, but one of the brigands reached her first. He caught her around the waist and lifted her high in the air. Other brigands pried the rest of the children off of the gate wheel and dragged them across the courtyard till they were all standing in front of the Lord of Lost Castle. "It seems to me that you little runts haven't done a good job of teaching our new slave how things are done around here," the Lord of Lost Castle sneered at the children. "Perhaps some time in the dungeon will give you a chance to explain it to him." All the children except for Rye began to beg and plead. "No, please, not again, not the dungeon." "Wait," Rye said. "It was my idea. You don't have to. Please don't punish them." "To the dungeon with them all!" the Lord of Lost Castle shouted. Before Rye could say another word, growling brigands pushed, shoved, and carried them all toward a dark little opening at the base of one of the crumbling towers. Rough hands on his shoulders shoved Rye toward the dungeon door. Janet, usually quiet and shy, screamed and kicked and howled. "No, not the dungeon!" The brigand carrying her hardly flinched as he disappeared into the dark doorway. Tom Cobbler hung his head, and Jep shot Rye a spiteful look as they were pushed in. Rye stumbled through the doorway after them, helpless against the iron hands clamped tightly on his shoulders, ashamed, miserable, and frightened. Rye's first try at escaping had not gone very well.